There has been no status change on that project. The opportunities before Mr. Diamond have been repeatedly expressed to him in writing and verbally. He knows he can come before the commission to discuss his current status and a contract revision. I believe he's reached out to the city attorney, but he has made no request through City Hall as far as I know.
And lastly, Veterans Fountain, we've got a young man here who has actually helped work on that fountain this week. We want to make sure we give a quick update on the fountain. And so can you, how about you come up and give us a little update on the fountain? Just a quick one. We got another young guy behind you who wants to come up as well. Can you two join each other? Can you come up with him and just join him?
That's good.
My name is Norm Jutras. I live at 412 Mulholland Park here in Blackton. And back 2 or 3 months ago here at the City Commission, the veterans had asked that the city do something about restoring the fountains. And at that time we heard that the quote was about $50,000 to repair the fountain. Mr. Diamond, Corky Diamond and I were here. We went back, we talked about it, we said, it's sort of crazy as a number. So Corky took the time the next day, and probably the next couple of weeks, we looked at the structure of everything that was there. We also, Wayne Hart happened to be my pool man, and we asked Wayne to come in and take a look at it. And when he looked at it, he says, well, a normal swimming pool is about maybe 3 or 4 times the amount of water that needs to be pumped here, and therefore we can put this thing together. And so we went through it. Unfortunately, when they started to paint the fountains, we had a lot of rain this summer, and that loused it up. And so therefore, last week, actually 3 weeks ago, Mr. Hires had, you got to understand, he's had some physical problems of his own. He has cancer, he had a stroke, he had a heart attack, all during this time period. He had 5 members of his family pass away in a 2-week period. You're talking about stuff happening. The poor guy had really a lot of stuff happening. But anyways, we put it all together that we were last Friday, and so that Monday we would meet and finish putting the pieces together, so he could tell us what we needed to do. And Skip straight here stepped up to the plate to work with him. We had Haynes Andresic come in and chipped out all of the fountains and so forth. Skip had the ceiling, and so therefore they sealed it all up, got the first 2 fountains watertight, got the pumps running and everything else, and the next thing you know, we found out that the 3rd pond had some other cracks. So therefore, those were sealed today, and now all 3 ponds are going to hold water, 3 pools, I should say. And, excuse me. But anyways, all in all, is the fountain will be running within the next 2 weeks. And back online. And the most important ingredient is all the parts that are used are all easily replaceable parts. There's nothing that is going to be, there used to be brass rings and all kinds of stuff that was stolen and everything else. I mean, if they want to steal PVC, okay, but we can go out to the store, over the Ace Hardware, and get the PVC and have it back in operation within the day. So it's simple and it's good, and Wayne Hart really deserves all the credit because he's the one that engineered, designed, and put it together.
Thank you.
And also, I wanted to make sure we recognize Skip. Skip is one of our local business owners here in town. Skip, I just wanted you to come up for 2 seconds, just introduce everyone to you, and you can get your and you can let them know. Skip also did all the stainless work on the River Center. He did all the metal work on the River Center as well.
I'm Skip Sprague. I live at 120 Roger Acre Lane in Tucka, and yeah, I own the Bible bookstore downtown and the little St. John's Cafe behind. And I just want the city to start getting it together. You know, we got too much that has to be done down there, and I disagree with some things, and I love others. So, but I'll be there to help whatever needs to be done.
So I want to thank you. So yesterday, on our way back to City Hall, we had an opportunity to stop by the fountain, and Skip and Wayne came over there with us. Alex Sharp was there as well, and Alex has also helped assemble another part of the team. And Skip and those guys have done a wonderful job in getting this fountain running, and they all sat down, and it was a meeting of the minds on things that I had no idea about. So I sat back and I watched and I gathered some information. I think the city manager and I think Commissioner Moore was also present, got an opportunity just to sit back and listen to these guys sit down and caucus about what they wanted to do. And the one thing we determined that there's a group of citizens in this community that love this community enough that they went out and they made substantial efforts. Wayne even actually got sick and ended up going to the hospital. He worked so hard on this project, and he was back out the next day. And I was like, hey, there's no workers' comp out here, so we need you, we need you to take it easy. But these guys worked so hard, and they cared so much about what was going on. And Jeff Rawls and his group, along with Alex Sharp and those guys, we found out that teamwork makes the dream work. And so all these guys committed to getting together to actually make the Veterans Memorial Fountain bigger and better than what it was before. And so they're meeting next week, I think it is, and they're going to put together their elaborate plan on how to make the fountain bigger and better. And so we want to thank our citizens, our business owners for getting together. They've got vendors. They've got their vendors coming out and donating parts for the fountain so that we can actually work it. And I listened to Skip talk about all the mechanisms. And so I think it's going to be a wonderful thing for the community. And I just thank these guys for the work that they've done and for them all partnering up to make this happen. And so we appreciate everything you guys are doing. Yes, sir.
Just want to add one thing, it didn't cost the city anything.
Hey, that's
And
great.
this is where we really should help empower all of our citizens, all of our neighborhoods to step forward, because we have a lot of talent in this community that is sitting idle that would love to pitch in. We just open the door.
Hey, I can't say anything but amen. That's a great statement. That is a great statement. And so it really did my heart well just to see everyone pitch in because they care. And that's what this is all about. It's about making Palaca better just through simple pride. And so we thank you for it, and we love you for that as well. Are there any other comments from the commission?
I just like to thank everybody for all their hard work and dedication on the urban front projects and all. Just going forward, I just like to see some, the milestones. They look good in the spreadsheet. I like to see the milestones, any new things that come up, any next steps that need to be taken, as well as I'd like to see dates around those. Any roadblocks if you have those, and so if the commission needs to help with anything, we'll be happy to do so. And lastly, like what can we do to help if there's any need? So that's pretty much all I have.
Okay. Chief, you got anything in the back? Either one of you.
We just got a new squad, up in service tomorrow, helping that AFG grant, take it. We just had a small fire at Magnolia Cafe, trying to be breakfast there. Not a big deal, unless it's smoke damage, small kitchen fire. Everything else is good.
Okay. Griff, Chief Griff. LT. Mr. Crowe.
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Griffin. Mr. Reynolds. Ms. Driggers. Commissioner Norwood.
Nothing in there.
Let the record reflect.
Say it again. Ask him again.
About open with that.
Mr. Suggs.
No, sir, not work related. I think we've talked about work enough tonight, but I do want to take the opportunity to thank each of you for the amount of work that we are doing here. And it's been, in the comments that's been reflected the last couple of council meetings about the changes that you're seeing throughout the community. And again, that's got to go right back to where that comment belongs, which is on the backs of the staff, because they're doing an outstanding job out there. I think communication is getting much better. I think the product that we're getting now is certainly showing that they care as much as we do. And I'm going to be remiss if I don't take the opportunity to thank Ms. Mary for what was probably the best Southern lunch I've had in a long time. So, Ms. Mary, thank you very much, and I'm inviting myself back anytime I'm
Mr. Holmes. Vice Mayor Brown.
I said what I need to say.
Let the record reflect twice. Commissioner Campbell.
I'd just like to say on behalf of the faculty and staff at Mosley Elementary, coming out and making our dedication and our ribbon cutting ceremony for our fitness center one of a kind. Thanks to the mayor for his kind remarks. It was just a joyous occasion, and now our kids and myself are going full force at minimum every Monday and Wednesday. And we've extended a fitness challenge to the whole school. So we're all about getting fit and making that make sure that our children are fit as well. So again, thank you to the community, thank you to the city commissioners that were able to join us, the city manager as well. Again, it made me smile just to know that we have the support of our full community and not just a few of our members, not just a few. So again, thank you, and thank you again.
Okay. I'm gonna make up for last week since I didn't say anything. We had the governor here earlier this week. The governor came in. I think it was a wonderful thing for this community. Palaca really represented and coming out and speaking with the governor. A lot of great questions were answered. And we actually, within the city, we went back, some of the issues we deal with specifically are our USDA waiver, the waiver exception, because we're 250 people above their maximum allowable limit for rural communities. So we were able to speak with the governor and his assistants to see what his legislative aides, to see what we could do to get some assistance in getting some additional funding, having some additional voices to speak in Washington for us. And so we should have responses back from them hopefully very soon as to whether there's anything that they can do. Additionally, I asked he said, "There's anything I can do for you?" I said, "Yeah, you can get us about 10,000 jobs." So, so the governor has a commitment to bringing jobs. Florida has actually increased the numbers of the jobs that they brought in here. And we think that since Putnam County has the highest rate of unemployment in the state, we should raise the floor. And if we start with Putnam County towards trying to bring in additional jobs and starting to feed businesses in here, it can't help but raise the floor for the entire state. And so we really want some emphasis to be placed on getting Putnam County to have additional jobs. We spoke briefly about the Palaca Pride project on October 31st on Halloween. We want everyone to come out and support us in that project. We're continually trying to move to different areas within this community to increase pride as it relates to the aesthetics of the community. Staff has started, you can see change in the way that things are being maintained within the city limits. The right-of-ways are starting to improve. There's extensive work going on. You've got Ed Chandler who's managing 2 different departments, and he's working. You know, I saw him out driving the grab truck the other day, and so when you can see your supervisor out doing that stuff, then you know there's a commitment to what's going on. So we want to definitely commend our staff on the efforts that they've made towards cleaning up the community. The job isn't where it needs to be, but the job is a lot better than where it was. So we want to continually make progress. We want to continue to come out and move forward with those projects. Our Boys to Men's Mentoring Group will have a tailgate cookout in an effort to try to increase awareness as well, and also to increase membership. And so we'll do that tomorrow afternoon at Beasley Middle School, right at the park next to Beasley Middle School, prior to the game, so that we can support Panther football during homecoming. Boaters Toys for Tots will be in town on the weekend of December 4th. Boaters Toys for Tots is a program that's been here. They'll be celebrating 15 years in this community. Last year, they provided over $20,000 worth of toys. Over 60 boaters came in from mostly North Carolina, the Charlotte and Raleigh areas of North Carolina, boaters from Jacksonville. They came in with cigarette boats. They do a poker run down to Elac, and they drop off toys for local kids, and they collect them throughout the year. Many of these individuals that come in, they are extremely happy about coming to Putnam County, and they love this community, and they bring these toys, and it's a major event for our community. Sadly enough, last year there were only about 2 local boaters that participated in the event in any capacity. And so this year we encourage more people to get involved, and also we want to push getting more people involved in getting toys for our children as well. And the final thing we have is we really want to look at the Bartram Conference that came in here. The Bartram Conference was a major event for this community. On Friday night, I had the privilege of going to their banquet. We had over 180 individuals who registered for that conference. There were about 120 individuals there for the banquet. From as far away as London, we had individuals from Kentucky, all over Florida, and it was an awesome occasion. It was an awesome event. There was some great original pieces that were sketched by Bartram that were given to us. Mr. Griffith and staff assisted in getting those pieces brought back to life. And those sketches are going to be on exhibit at the Larimore Arts Center. So we want everyone to make sure we recognize and we applaud everyone who worked with the Bartram Conference. It was a major event for Putnam County, and it was a job well done. And I want to at least make sure we give them public recognition at this time for what they've done and how they put the city of Palaca on the map. And so I want to thank the Bartram Conference family, definitely. And that's it from me today. Again, thank everybody for being here, for enduring this long meeting. And if there's a motion, we'll be adjourned.